Now in this special video, I reveal 24 counterintuitive principles to attract a man you adore in 2024. Because never in all of human history has finding love just felt so disorienting. Just constantly swiping right because every gross guy just wants the hanky-panky. Ugh. Deep romantic connections that slowly turn into casual hookups because suddenly it turns out he's still living with his ex-wife, but they are separated. And the word courtship, it seems like a foreign language to most men out there. Courtship? Krautship? And all of this has led to a devastating new trend over the past few years that I call chaotic chemistry. This is when you meet a man and are just flooded with those love chemicals, but the connection, it only lasts anywhere from 3 weeks to 3 months, and then he pulls away, or worse, he just disappears. Then you go right back into the chaos that is the 21st century dating scene. Women dealing with chaotic chemistry tend to experience these 4 C's. Confusion, what to do, what to say, are there any real men left out there? Complexity, divorced dads who just want to play the field, or jealousy, or long distance relationships, or guys who say one thing, but they really mean another. Clutter, or what I call emotional clutter. Guys who waste your time and don't even really want love or committed relationship. Or another form of clutter is keeping your ex in the picture, still texting with him because you know what? Compared to what you're seeing out there, he doesn't seem all that bad. And all of this leads us to the ultimate C, which is worst of all, that is loss of your confidence. And you might be thinking, is there something wrong with me? Well, I'm here to assure you that there's nothing wrong with you. We just need a new strategy, a way to bring clarity to the chaos, a way to control the chaos, and most importantly, strategies to conquer the chaos. And when you adopt the 24 principles that I reveal in this video, suddenly now you are in total control of your destiny to attract the man that you truly adore. I mean, I had a woman the other day, Victoria, who told me that once she learned these principles, it felt like she was going from a nightmare, which is modern dating, to suddenly just waking up and living that life that she'd always dreamt of. Treat this video as your alarm clock to help you just wake up and realize that 2024 is your year to attract the man that you adore. My name is Adam LaDolce. I'm the founder of Love Strategies, which is an executive love coaching company where we've helped over 10,000 successful single women get out there and attract long-lasting love and do it with a proven strategy. These principles came from my own personal experience of struggling with very low confidence and also dealing with a lot of chaotic chemistry in my own life to then finally attracting the love of my life, Jessica. And within a few years of developing these principles, I was actually recognized as one of the world's leading dating coaches for men. And then about a decade ago, due to massive demand from women, I launched Love Strategies and started customizing these principles specifically for women just like you to reclaim that power in the modern dating scene, and the results were truly remarkable.
He recently told me he's madly in love with me, which was such a nice thing to hear.
So yeah, we're going for it. We're eloping last week of August.
Yeah, we've been dating and now we're engaged, actually. We got engaged, I know, on New Year's Eve. So it's really exciting, and we're gonna get married in May.
I mean, I've used these lessons as a host dating coach on a few different television shows on TLC or MTV, and I've also shared these shifts and these principles with hundreds of the top universities worldwide as a guest lecturer on attraction and dating. But never before have I distilled them into a short checklist, updated for finding love in 2024, and you can use these to empower you this year to make it happen. And I don't hold back in this video. Unlike some content out there, I won't tease you and then try to sell you something weird at the end. Instead, I'll just tell you what it is that we have for you so you can rest assured that nothing weird is coming, okay? I know that a number of you will hear these principles and be like, you know what? I really need a strategy in my love life. And if that's you, then at any point, you can click the button right below this video to go ahead and apply for a complimentary love strategy session where a professional on my team is going to meet with you individually, create a step-by-step strategy for you, and see how our executive love coaching can help make your dreams a reality this year. So let's start the countdown. Number 24. So who has the most power while dating? Well, everyone tends to think it's men or it's that masculine energy, but that is wrong. Feminine energy is actually the most powerful energy when you're dating. Let me explain. When you're dating or in a relationship, there are really 2 types of energies in the relationship. There's masculine and there's feminine. Masculine energy tends to be that pursuer energy, whereas feminine energy energy tends to be that receiving energy. Masculine energy tends to be attracted to feminine energy and vice versa. It's kind of like a magnet. So if you as a woman are leaning into your masculine energy, you're going to attract a lot of feminine guys that you're going to end up basically being their mother, okay? And caring for them rather than a real man who doesn't need that. And you're going to repel the masculine guys that you actually want. No thank you. Whereas if you lean into your feminine, you'll actually be repelling those feminine guys who are looking for a mother and start to attract the independent, assertive, confident, masculine men that you really want. But here's the big shift that no one's talking about. Feminine energy is not about being weak. It's about being warm and caring while also being incredibly confident and patient. Feminine energy is the most powerful energy throughout the dating scene. I want you to be soft on the outside, but I want you to be hard as a rock on the inside with that confidence. Lean back. Bring the elegance and make guys fight for you, not the other way around. Let your energy draw them in. That is powerful. Here's a story from Lisa, who's a CEO, brings a lot of that masculine energy at work, and she made this shift as a client, and here's her story.
It just appeared that there was not a big market out there for strong, smart, and bold CEO women. And then I got back into online dating again. As a part of the program. Thoroughly convinced I was never going to meet anybody there because I had no success with that, but why not? It'll be fun. So I met some people, and so in going through the workshops, I could reflect on some recent dating experiences and realize how very much I was bringing my leader energy to the space and not so much the feminine energy. I really appreciated how Adam always made the point to really point out that this is not about being submissive. This is just about shifting gears into a different part of who you are. I mean, I've been on my own for 19 years. And he just kept saying, well, let me do this for you. Let me do that for you. And I'd be like, no, it's all right, I got it. And he'd be like, can I please? And then I could hear Adam going, let him be the hero. Okay. And so he runs out there and gets it shifted and comes in and washes his hands. It's like, so happy. I was like, oh my gosh, this thing is true. This is really a thing. And it's nice.
Number 23, be attracted to yourself to live a life full of love. Now these days, social media is constantly telling you that you're not enough. And when we're dating, it can be really easy to look in the mirror and think, I'm too old, I'm overweight, or I'm not attractive to men. And when you meet up with these guys, you might have a hard time just making things click. All of this causes what I call the self-conscious snowball effect. This is when your insecurities just radiate when you meet men, ultimately causing men to be uninterested. And then we inaccurately think that this is all because of our physical appearance. But here is the reality. It's the perception you hold of yourself that's pushing men away. When you're attracted to yourself and radiate that in every interaction and know that you are absolutely the prize, then that radiates to men, and men also begin to believe it. So I need you to be attracted to yourself in a healthy way, and you'll have men fighting for you. Once you look in the mirror and you are like, damn, I look good, then men will tend to agree. Number 22, 2024 is the year of the narcissist. And I need you to realize that narcissists are many times the most charming of all men. And in 2024, narcissistic behavior is on the rise to unprecedented levels. Ha! I'm Ned the Narcissist, and I love myself way more than I love you. Here are 3 signs that you're meeting a guy just like me. I have such a fragile ego that I put you down to make myself feel better. You're a loser because I'm a loser. I am very charming when I want something from you, and then once I get it, I'm gonna disappear until I need something more from you. And then I'm back. And finally, I do not want to hear your opinion unless you wholeheartedly agree with mine. Now, you can learn to avoid these men if you learn how to spot them. And remember, true confidence in a man is quiet, is understated, and really speaks for itself. Insecure narcissism tends to be loud, tends to be showy, tends to be boisterous and attention-seeking. See it for what it truly is. Number 21, real relationships require meeting real men in real life. If you are online dating, a man does not exist to you emotionally until you've met him in real life. Look, here's the problem. The human mind has not actually evolved for online dating. I mean, we are at our core, like we're just a bunch of primates. And when we see a profile picture and start chatting with someone that we haven't met yet, our ancient brains start to build that connection deeply and emotionally with someone that we've never actually met. And this is because for 99.99999% of all of human history, we've only met potential mates in real life. And online dating is all just very new to humans. We're not designed for this. So a common trap that a lot of women fall into, and men, is to meet a person online and just allow yourself to get emotionally entangled and overcome with that wishful thinking. So here's what we need to do moving forward. Until this man is sitting across from you, he is a mirage. He's a projection of what you really want. And we need to meet the real man in real life before allowing ourselves to get emotionally attached. Number 20. Be easy to approach, hard to attain. Now, the vast majority of the dating advice garbage that is spouted by experts out there, it teaches women to play hard to get. And how's that worked out for most women who follow that advice? Saturday nights, sitting at home, watching Netflix, eating ice cream, and playing hard to get. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Netflix and I love ice cream, but I think we can all agree it's probably not the best way to attract true love. So when you do go out and meet men, I want you to be easy to approach. Don't fall victim to the dreaded syndrome of the RBF, the resting brat face. Yeah, I won't say the other B word that's commonly used with RBF because you know what? I'm a gentleman. How about instead we go with the ASF, which is active smiling face? Because when a high value single man walks into a room, he literally scans the entire room looking for the woman who is least likely to reject him horrifically. I mean, we have a deep-seated fear of rejection, and brats, they never get approached because guys just don't want to deal with the eye rolls or the lectures when they do approach those types of women. Your superpower this year is to be the most social woman in the room, meet lots of guys, and then when they are pursuing, we then slow it down and become hard to attain. You can do this when you have the right tools to make it happen. Be easy to approach, hard to attain. Number 19, learn to weed out the wrong men quickly. Let's identify those time wasters who rope you in and break your heart. When you eliminate the worst, you make time for the best. And the worst types of guys are what we call ropers. They tangle you up, complicate your life, then leave you high and dry. So here's what a roper stands for. R is resource flaunting. He's the type of guy that wants to show off all of his money because you know what? He probably doesn't have much of it. The O is for overtly sexual. He tries to turn things very sexual very quickly and inappropriately. P is physically attractive without any type of substance. E is he's emotionally unavailable. It almost feels like you are dating a robot. The R is that he rarely makes you a priority. He always puts himself first. And the S is that he is smooth and flirtatious because you know what? He flirts with a lot of different women. The road to love hell is paved with ropers who will charm you and leave you heartbroken. Now, one of my clients, Danielle, would always get sucked in by these types of guys until she learned these proven strategies, and now here's her story.
I was picking all the guys that were just like him, and ones that were just in it for, Adam has a ton of names for all of them, right? But whether it be the roper or the orbiter or whatever, it was, that's what I ended up with. And so at that point, I found Love Strategies and fought it for a while, I would say. This is so counterintuitive. This doesn't make sense to me. And being an analytical mind, I just said, okay, embrace the steps, embrace the process. And as Adam says, if you're not having fun, you're not doing it right. I think that I would end up with a really great friendship in addition to a relationship out of just taking the risk of saying, yes, I'm going to join Love Strategies. A year ago, I would never have even considered this a possibility. So to know that it's not only a part of my world, but it is part of my everyday now, says a lot about what Adam has to offer.
Number 18, use the power of no and the magic of next. Now, one trend I've noticed about our community here at Love Strategies is that it is full of so many kind and wonderful women who just don't want to hurt feelings, but it causes them to get sucked into situations with the wrong types of guys, all for the sake of being nice. Now, I don't recommend that you be rude when we get out there, but we need to celebrate using the power of no, and if necessary, the magic of the word next, and move on to the next guy. Because for every yes to the right man, you have to be prepared to confidently say no to so many more. I mean, I had a client a few months ago who's in our executive level coaching program, and she was in a total state of chaotic chemistry. I mean, she was messaging with literally 10 different guys on dating apps. She was dating 5 of them in real life, and her ex was still texting with her daily, of which she was responding to, and she was wondering, with all this chaos going on, why it is nothing was actually panning out. So I told her name is Allison, it's time to purge your love life. Clean out the closet, prune the garden, revamp the menu. She liked that one, by the way. It's time to start over. Now look, I've personally fallen into this trap myself. I remember before I met Jessica, I was in a deep state of chaotic chemistry. I was talking to women where there was absolutely no future, and nothing was panning out. So I decided, I was like, I'm going to cut everything, clean slate, and that is when my wife appeared right in my life. It was at that moment. So if we're talking to a guy right now, and you do not see a future in the next 10, 20, 30 years and beyond with that guy, then repeat after me. It's time to say that magical 4-letter word. You know it. Next, and move on to the next. Number 17, getting rejected while dating is always a growth opportunity. Use the pain as the medicine. Look, for starters, I don't even believe in using the word rejected, because honestly, if someone's not interested in dating you, it's not rejection, it's just not a fit. Next, not a big deal. But since a lot of people commonly use the word rejection, I'll use it here to illustrate a very powerful mental model. Rejection plus reflection equals progress. Now, prior to working with us, Beata was shut down from rejection.
I had divorced at this point now. Well, last year it was like I'd been divorced for 11 years, and it was a very tough divorce. So basically, I was completely shut down in that area.
And then she reframed it in her mind as a growth opportunity, and now here's where she is.
Definite confirmation of I want to be with you and just you, and we're making plans, like all the things that were unsure are sure now. So, and all thanks to good communication and taking time and using proper strategies, and I think understanding each other better.
Number 16, never be ashamed for wanting a committed exclusive relationship. I mean, your girlfriends, your family, they'll tell you things like, oh, you don't need a man, you're an independent woman. And look, it's all well-intentioned, but it subconsciously programs us to fall into unhealthy casual hookups, or to avoid relationships altogether because we are so self-sufficient. And even worse, society has created this stigma around wanting a relationship, as if this is like needy or full of dependency or weakness. Instead, we take a very different approach, which is why we're so successful at helping women attract love. Here at Love Strategies, our clients embrace their desire for a relationship with pride, with confidence, and there's absolutely no shame in seeking connection and companionship. It doesn't come from a place of void or incompleteness, it comes from a place of having a vision for your love life. You don't need someone to make your life amazing, you want someone to share your amazing life with. There's a big difference. Number 15, just stop trying to be so perfect. Look, and the reality is humans actually bond with one another based on imperfections, not perfections. Trying to be perfect actually breaks the bond. And most people on first dates or when they're meeting someone new, they try to say the perfect thing. I get it, I've been there. Or have the absolute perfect body language, you name it. Or we just try to be our picture perfect self. But here's the problem. Not only is perfection impossible, it's also not attractive. There's a psychological principle known as the pratfall effect, and that is where showing your imperfections or your mistakes or vulnerability can actually make someone more relatable and increase their attractiveness and likability. So when you're dating a new guy, don't be afraid to share those kind of less than perfect parts about you, okay? I want you to be your real self, and your real self is full of imperfections, and that's okay. I mean, think of it this way. Imagine meeting a politician in real life, okay? Like when you meet that person, they're just like so rigid and fake, and you know everything that they're saying is kind of BS, right? Then when you meet someone who's actually real with you, who's not afraid to just like snort when they laugh a little bit or just be a little bit ridiculous, which one are you gonna like more? The politician or the person who's being real but kind of snorts when they laugh? Which one are you going to trust? Like, never be ashamed to let the real you shine. Number 14, be a chooser, not a chaser. A chaser is a woman who actively seeks companionship from men who are kind of like a little bit lukewarm or uninterested. A chooser is a woman who meets lots of men and then decides with care and consideration which one aligns best with their values, her interests, her life goals. And because I'm feeling a little bit romantic today, I actually wrote you a quick poem that really gets to the core of this idea. So Editor, let's cue some of that romantic music to get this point across for the ladies out there. The chaser runs with a hopeful heart, dreaming of that fairy tale start. Through text and call, they give their all, hoping one day love will fall. The chooser leans back with that thoughtful gaze through the romantic maze. She ponders and picks, not swayed by the quick, seeking a match that truly clicks. This year's mantra, be a chooser, not a chaser. Number 13, understand the law of relationship averages. You are the average of the man you marry. Now, a famous author, Jim Rohn, has a famous quote, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And I've always loved this, and I think that this is really good advice to give, especially to children and who they surround themselves with. But in the context of love, I actually take this idea one step further. You are the average of the person you marry. But this is easy to forget when we're dating. The stakes are really high, so take the time, invest your energy in this process. Prioritize this in your life. And when you're dating someone new, don't ask yourself, do I like him? Instead, ask yourself, do I want to be like him? Because you will if you choose him. Now, one of our clients, Claire, she really embodies this whole idea. I mean, she was single for 9 years and would always be going for the same types of guys. But then she really started to shift what it is she was looking for. And with our strategies, here's where she is.
One of the key things I found about this man was that anytime I saw him, I always felt lighter. The first time we met, he made me laugh, and that, just genuine laughter, and I just went away feeling lighter. And the reason I guess I kept on seeing him initially was because I always came away feeling lighter and feeling good.
Number 12, healthy relationships tend to be boring most of the time, and by the way, that is a good thing. Now, this is kind of a tough pill to swallow for many of us who love the excitement of being with someone who's kind of mysterious and exciting, who are hot and cold, who have that just intoxicating dynamic that leaves you guessing. Because chaotic chemistry can actually be kind of addictive. So it's important to realize that healthy relationships tend to actually be much less dramatic, and for lack of a better term, kind of boring at times. So moving forward, don't freak out when you're seeing a guy if it feels just a little bit more boring than you're used to. Within reason, this is a good thing. I believe that true love is when a man tells you how he really feels. I mean, he shows up for you, he leans in. I mean, love is patient, whereas chaotic chemistry is very demanding. Love thrives on emotion, whereas chaotic chemistry is really fueled by that instant attraction. And most importantly, love is long-term, whereas chaotic chemistry, it is fleeting. Number 11, weird is wonderful. I mean, it is better to be weird than go unnoticed when finding love. Had to put on my wig for this one. Couldn't help myself. And women in particular have been taught this head trash to just always fit in. I mean, everyone's just trying to fall into this neat little box and do whatever it is that they're told and wondering why it is that they are never getting noticed. And a lot of women will rely on fancy designer clothes and makeup and all of these things when they're really missing the big picture. Embrace the weird. Embrace the memorable uniqueness that is you. This year, I want you to be more of what makes you, you. Do you have like a weird, quirky sense of humor? Let it shine, baby. Do you like to wear vintage clothing? You rock that. Are you into making jewelry out of insects? Yes, that is a real thing. Maybe tell him about that, but just don't wear that beetle on your neck on the first date. That might creep him out a little bit. Number 10, be a little selfish. Once you live your own full, complete life, only then are you really relationship ready. If we're going out there looking for someone to complete me, you're more likely to settle for less than you deserve. Because this mindset creates an empty, yearning, longing, and needy vibe that attracts the wrong type of guy. The guys that are opportunistic, they're shallow, or they're just very focused on sex, or even worse, scammers. So moving forward, I need you to realize you don't need a relationship. You want a relationship. There's a very big difference there. I remember I said this to a client a few months ago and it really hit home with her, and that is, the moment you enjoy your love life is the very moment that a man sweeps you off your feet and makes you unsingle. And so she embraced this idea and leaned into making her life absolutely incredible. And lo and behold, a guy has recently come into her life and she's saying he's kind of a keeper. So hey, it works. Number 9, a quality community is key to success in love. Sadly, in modern times, people are more isolated than ever. And if you feel alone on your journey to love, you're absolutely not alone in feeling that way. Based on a recent study that just came out, nearly half of all people reporting having fewer than 3 close friends. And this is double than what it was in the 1990s. I mean, this is a brand new phenomenon. People just don't have the same connections that they used to even 20, 30 years ago. Your community really matters. And when it comes to love, sometimes even our closest friends will give us some really unhelpful advice, like, oh, love will come when you least expect it, as if like that was ever helpful advice. So this year, I really encourage you to get out there and find your community of like-minded women who are on that path to attracting love. And this is why here at Love Strategies, we put so much focus on our community, because we know that those friendships, that camaraderie that people have in the program, that is what fuels them to ultimately get success in their love life. This is what Amy had to say about our community.
It's nice to have a support group of your peers. It's calm. It's wonderful. We spend a lot of quality time together doing things like cooking. I didn't think I would find it in this tiny little town, but here I am.
Number 8. Do you know what the scariest word is while dating? Settling. So no matter how long you've been with someone, you always have walking power. It is so much better to be single than feeling lonely in the wrong relationship. So why do people stay in the wrong relationships? Fear. Fear of not knowing whether or not we can do better. Fear of repeating the same patterns. Fear of not having a strategy to attract long-lasting love. And where does this leave us? According to one recent study, 75% of married people say that they settled. Man, that is depressing. But that doesn't happen here at Love Strategies. So it's time to start embracing that magical 4-letter word, which is next. Because here at Love Strategies, we don't believe in settling. I mean, our core company mission is helping humanity thrive in healthy, loving relationships. And if a relationship doesn't help you grow fundamentally as a human, then it is the wrong relationship. Never be afraid to walk away, because you always have a choice. You always have walking power. Number 7. Be self-aware, not self-conscious when you're dating. Now, these two concepts sound similar, but are uniquely different. What does it sound like to be self-conscious when dating? Self-consciousness in dating really causes women to excessively worry about how they are being perceived by men, and all people, by the way. Ultimately, this leads us to anxiety and those potentially awkward interactions, because we're trying to be so perfect out there, all of which lowers our chances of genuine connection. It also results in us holding back our true thoughts and feelings out of the fear of rejection, and this just kills our confidence in dating situation, which only lowers, once again, the likelihood of finding love. Alternatively, self-awareness is the conscious knowledge of one's character, feelings, motives, and desires. It involves understanding your strengths, your weaknesses, your thoughts, your beliefs, your motivations, and your emotions. Self-aware people tend to be more in tune with themselves. Because of this, they can communicate their needs and desires and boundaries when they're in a relationship. All of this really allows you to present your true, genuine self in a relationship, building a massive amount of trust and a deeper connection with guys. Number 6. Checklists are not romantic. No more checklists. Don't create a checklist of what you want in a guy. Instead, create a love vision. Now, one of the first things we have our clients do is literally rip up their checklist and stop looking for what we call Checklist Charlie. Charlie sucks anyways. And we walk them through an exercise of creating something much more profound and much less constricting. It's a vision that encapsulates both their short-term and, more importantly, long-term needs. This year, I want you to allow yourself to zoom out in your love life and think about the man that fits in the now and in the future. I mean, ask yourself this. What type of guy would your 90-year-old self want you to date? Think of that woman sitting in her rocking chair. What would she want for you today? Now, previous to working with us, Laura, she always went with the checklist Charlies, okay? She had her checklist, and these are the types of guys she would always go for until she created a love vision. And now here's her story.
What you're looking for may not be what you think it is. He's not what I thought I was looking for when I started, but he's everything that I wanted. I just didn't know it until I had a love vision to kind of guide me there. So it's just really interesting.
Number 5, when you master the first minute of meeting someone, you can have anything in life that you desire. Master minute 1. Now, humans have been hardwired for thousands of years to be incredibly judgmental, and for good reason. I mean, we had to know whether or not we could trust someone from, let's say, a neighboring tribe. I mean, it could literally be life or death if we got it wrong. So in modern times, we have to be very good at first impressions. And sadly, we've gotten pretty rusty at our first impressions, and our social skills mostly due to modern technology and isolation. And the reality is that most studies show that anywhere from 30 seconds to 1 minute of meeting a new person, within that time frame, we are deciding whether or not we like that person, and whether that's romantically or platonically, whatever it is that we decide, we tend to stick to it for life. But there's good news here. It is absolutely a learnable skill. Master minute 1 and you'll have your pick of any guy out there. Number 4. There's actually an equation for a relationship that lasts for the rest of your life, and I call it the lasting love formula. It is attraction plus friendship plus compatibility. Attraction is easy, right? It's when you have chemistry with someone, when you're drawn to that person, when you're deeply attracted and excited about that person. Friendship. Friendship is the second component of this, and I want you to think of, how does your best friend treat you? How respectful is that person towards you? How much can you trust that person? When you think of your romantic relationships in terms of friendship, suddenly it kind of reconfigures what it is that you're looking for. And that's a good thing, because ultimately the person you want to be with is truly your best friend. And then finally, compatibility. This is when you want the same things, you want to live in the same area, and you have the same values. You need to have all 3 of these in order to have a lasting, lifelong relationship: attraction, friendship, and compatibility. And I'm here to help you find a guy who has all 3. Number 3. Youthfulness is more important than age. Look, you do not need to be young to attract men. Absolutely not. But you do need to radiate youthfulness. Let me explain. Your age is simply a number, but radiating youthfulness is actually a mindset. And these two things are not necessarily correlated, quite the contrary. I'm telling you, I've met some women who are in their 20s with a youthfulness of like a 90 or 100-year-old. And I've worked with many women in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond, even 90s, who are literally oozing youthful energy. A few qualities of youthfulness, I'd say, is having curiosity, being excited about life, being open to new ideas and learning new things, being a little bit playful, having fun on a first date, not being afraid to be flirtatious. This is what embodies youthfulness. And with that said, I want to introduce you to one of my clients, Connie. She's one of my all-time favorite clients who I think just embodies this idea of youthfulness.
But yet he's such a good person. I can't thank you enough. There's no way, no how I would have had the confidence to even do those sexy little texts from the get-go with this guy, let alone like show up and act like, not act like, but have it in the back of my head that I'm the prize. Like, I'm not nervous. I'm just here to have fun. And I don't care what the outcome of this date is. I would never have had that mindset. And for that, Adam, thank you.
Number 2, never invest more in a man than he is investing in you. Instead of chasing the wrong men, invest your energy into learning new ways to find someone better. Because whether or not we know it, when we're dating, there's always some level of investment. And when we don't know how to navigate modern dating, we tend to invest our time, energy, and resources very poorly. But when we have a proven strategy to make it a reality, it actually saves us time, it saves us emotional energy, and it saves us from that heartbreak. Number 1. Your decision right now shapes your destiny. The man that you choose as a romantic partner is the one choice that impacts all areas of your life. From longevity to mental health to success in your career, it has an impact on everything you do. And the weird thing is, people get coaching, they get help, they get advice in all areas of their life, but for whatever reason, a lot of people don't think to get coaching in their love life. Now, hopefully you found these principles to be helpful for you today, but we all know that watching just a short video, it's not going to be the one catalyst to creating the permanent change necessary in your love life. Instead, we need to take action. We need a step-by-step strategy and a support system every single step of the way. I want to introduce you to Love Accelerator. This is the world's premier executive love coaching program that is uniquely tailored for successful women just like yourself. Look, we don't just coach you on how to find love using a proven strategy, we also stand by you, offering unwavering support to nurture and sustain a lifelong relationship. Thousands of our clients now wake up every morning to the man of their dreams, feeling that unwavering certainty that he is their person. Love Accelerator is designed to help you raise your standards, attract high-value men, and save you time every single step of the way. Now, the reason why this program is so effective is because it's broken up into 3 core pillars. First one is the strategies, where you immerse yourself in just a treasure trove of proven dating relationship strategies. These have been honed over a decade to navigate every single facet of your love journey. You'll follow a very specific strategy that I call the 7 little love steps. They are small but powerful steps designed to guide you on your journey. Next is our community, where you get that comfort and that constant support and guidance from our executive love coaches. And you get this 24/7, so you just never feel alone on your journey. You're always surrounded by a nurturing and knowledgeable network who's just going to assist you through the ebbs and flows of your love life. And finally is the mastermind, where you jump on live Zooms and you get that executive love coaching, and we'll customize your strategies to fit your unique circumstances. This personalized approach ensures that your journey to finding love aligns perfectly with your individual needs and aspirations. And just so you can get a feel for some of those magical moments that happen in these masterminds, I'll share with you a clip from Sarah. Yes, we got permission to share this, and yes, I'm a bit of a crier sometimes.
I've struggled for years with this.
Geez, you're making me emotional over here.
It's been a journey. I thought I would just die alone, but I feel in my heart, this man is into me. He texts me through the day that he loves me, and I think regardless if this, relationship failed tomorrow, I have a different model to work with that is helpful and really powerful. So thank you.
Now, since you've made it this far in the video, it's likely that you are an absolute perfect fit for this program because you are an action taker, you're looking for this type of information. But due to the personalized nature of executive love coaching, we can't just offer this to everyone in the general public. We consider our community as like this protected sanctuary, and we are extremely intentional about the clients that we actually bring on board. And this careful selection ensures that we deliver those life-changing outcomes they truly deserve. So here's what I can offer you today. Click the button right there below, schedule a complimentary love strategy session where we learn more about you, we understand your current situation, what's going on there, and we can determine whether or not Love Accelerator is the right fit for your journey. There's nothing to lose and everything to gain. I mean, the worst case scenario is that we discover that it's just not a fit, but even then, you're gonna leave the conversation feeling inspired and armed with a newfound direction for your journey. And the best case scenario is that it is a fit, and we go ahead and open up a spot for you in this program and start to transform your life forever. I mean, this is what Jennifer has to say about Love Accelerator.
It's so much great information and support and guidance along the way that I know that if anyone were to try it, that they would not regret it.
But before you do apply for that session, please only schedule it if love is a priority right now, not next week or next month when work slows down. Also, you gotta be open to investing in love coaching. I mean, this is a process. We're going to really work with you hands-on to make this happen. And then finally, just commit to showing up for your scheduled session because we really do carve out this time to speak with you directly. Go ahead and apply for that complimentary love strategy session, and we cannot wait to help you on your journey to attracting the man and the relationship you truly deserve. Thanks for being here.
I think I've had a lot of growth in just how I approach, of course, my love life was the number one thing, but also everything from my job and work relationships, valuing everything and really showing in the way I lived my life. I think the priorities that I put in my life, I think that's what it really helped me clean up. I met a very wonderful man who's in my life now, whose name is Matt. Things have been going very well.
After a few months, I met my now husband. 4 months later, we were married. Just everything that you said about men and how they're thinking is completely opposite of how women are thinking. I have to tell you this. And so the things just don't match up, right, between men and women. And I think that's why dating is so hard nowadays. Well, not just nowadays, but why it's been hard for a long time. And I wanted to thank you and wanted to, tell all the other single sexy ladies out there that they need to keep listening to you. They need to keep, following your advice and not going back and listening to their girlfriends, but really taking what you say to heart.
Never in a million years would I have ever said dating is fun. Never. Not once. Because for the past 10 years, it has been the life suck out of me.
And I am just it's so different. I've never been able to do this before because I was always the one that seemed like I just didn't know what to say. It was awkward. Even with the other dates I had, it was kind of awkward. But then once I really kind of got settled in on all of those points you were making and how you said, do this, let them know that you are the prize. And that kept ringing in my mind, I am the prize. So it kind of built that confidence up.
Just everything's changed. As it really hasn't after I've listened to you.
And my children are all, Mom, go, be happy. Just go and be happy. You deserve it. And I'm like going, thanks, kids.
What's really helpful is like your videos that you have out, because I think that they do give really good advice, and just to have like an open mind and a really positive attitude.
I was really impressed by, there was hardly anybody in the cafeteria, and he comes sailing across the cafeteria and he's asking me if he can take me out to dinner.
Now we're 4 months in dating, having a great time, going camping this weekend. He's the best guy I've ever dated.
He lives out on an acreage, and we had a bunch of friends out for a New Year's Eve party. And I had felt like I was falling in love with him for quite some time. Like I felt like I probably fell maybe a little too fast. So I was really cautious about that. But there was just these moments where we'd look at each other and just kind of knew that we were falling in love. And yeah, he set off some fireworks and we said, Happy New Year's to everybody. And then he came over and said, I really love you. I love you so much. And it was a really special moment. I really like your idea of just knowing that you are a high value woman.
And so now I'm 2 months into this guy. I'm dating this guy, and just in the past week or so, we decided to be exclusive. And it's really exciting. Yeah, exactly.
His family was visiting him, and he literally left them for an hour to bring me flowers and macarons and spend an hour with me for my birthday. And I was like, yeah, I'm not swiping on anyone else anymore.
Because the things you're saying were like the things that I was feeling deep down inside. But then when I have friends telling me other things like, oh, you're playing games, or, oh, it's okay to do this. No, it's actually not, because it doesn't feel right. Whereas the things you're saying felt right, but I would question them because I would get information from other places. So when you talk about, I think the big thing that I get from your program is really about your relationship with yourself.